The MOST initiative came out of knowing that it wasn't just that there wasn't enough after-school care. It was that programs and program people weren't talking to each other. That, if they sat down together, they could figure out a way to make more for all of them in terms of numbers of children served, resources, training, improving the quality of what they were all doing. And we saw this happening in a few communities before we started MOST, where people were starting to realize that some kind of coordination function was very important. The mission of MOST is to create an awareness at the level of the community, the neighborhood, the city, that children's out-of-school time is very important to their development, that it's important to parents, that it's important to schools, to businesses, and to the community as a whole. It's to, in general, make after-school programs as important to a community as all of the other supports that we take for granted.
So what do you think after snack? You guys all welcome now? You ladies, come here. You guys have to the side of the room. You guys can stand right here. Right down. No, you guys got it yesterday.
I think that we've come a long way in understanding that it isn't just about custodial care. It isn't just about safety. It isn't just about keeping kids off the streets, although it is about that. There's more that can happen in these programs.
We have worked over a number of years with many providers from around the country to develop national quality standards that are really looking at the specific needs of 5 to 14-year-olds. It looks at human relationships, space, the activities, safety, health, and nutrition, and administration. And these are standards that can provide a resource for all programs to understand what we mean by best practices, and that their job is to relate to kids, that that's the primary job.
This is your strong hand. You want this like in your face, like you gotta cover your face.
I always say when I talk with people in a program that 2/3 of their quality is tied up in their people. And so they need to put 2/3 of their energy into making sure that people are relating well.
There's two things that I automatically look for first, is what's happening with the staff and the kids, and what's happening between children and children.
This is your container so far?
I like to see staff who are really fully engaged with kids, helping guide their behavior, working with them every day on how they're getting along.
If you see staff really engage with the children, really working with them, doing a hands-on activity, or even just sitting there doing something quietly to do their homework or what have you, then you can see that there's some care and some respect right there. And how you see children treating children is also a direct reflection on what's being talked about.
We really have a unique opportunity in out-of-school time because we may be working with kids over a period of 5 or 6 years. We may get to know their siblings and have them in the program also, and we often get to see their parents once or twice a day.
When the parent is walking through the door and you want to say, hey, Shirley had a great day today. She did this wonderful painting. She helped somebody out when they fell down, And then the parent's able to talk to Shirley about that, and then that's a kind of a ripple effect, and the parent feels good.
So that starts that relationship. We're not there to judge them. We're not there to tell them how to do it. We're there to help them, to provide them with the resources. So we're not only there for the kids, we're there for the families.
From what?
As a young person walks into your program, they are all coming in from different types of days. Sometimes they're having days that are absolutely great. Sometimes they're coming in, they're tired, they want to just rest and be quiet. Sometimes they just are so excited to see a friend that they only see in the after-school program. So you want to create a space that allows those types of things to happen.
When we're thinking about space in terms of relationships, one thing that's really important to me when I walk into a space is to make sure that kids have a place to go where they have a sense of privacy or of quiet, but also that in the space there are lots of interest areas.
If you see a place that has tons of pictures all over the wall, and there's, different spaces that a number of different things are happening at a time, I love that, because then you know that, wow, they put some thought into what's happening with the kids.
I see staff working with small groups of kids, and everybody's fully engaged. The staff are totally involved in what they're doing with kids, and the kids are actively pursuing their choices.
We go to them to find out their interests, and then we develop it. And we ensure that each activity is challenging, stimulating, educational, age-appropriate.
Activities is more than just, coloring a piece of paper. It's a way to help children understand the world around them.
We would also tie in like newsletters and writing activities to help them build upon what they're learning in school.
Because of the structure of after school, it's so different from school. And it allows a child to bring out something that's inside of them, their own self, their own creative being.
I love to see creativity. I like magic. When I walk into something, if you see there are supplies that the kids can help themselves to, if there's tons of activities going on.
I'm thinking of a program that I went to see last year, and I walked in, and there was an older staff person who loved to sew, and she had 5 or 6 boys that had never sewed before. And in the next group, some children were working on homework, and then there was another group over that was working on a song that they were going to be doing for performance. So little clusters of staff working with kids on things that they really enjoy, talking, getting to know each other in the process. The most important part about safety, health, and nutrition really is probably from the kids' point of view, the food.
Providing something nutritional for them gives them a different level of energy and helps them understand why healthy food is important in their life. The thing about after school, that every little thing that you do builds upon something. I had a young girl named Helen. She was one of the first ones to show up. So it's, okay, can you help prepare snack for everybody else? Help me figure out what are we going to have for snack today? And then give her responsibility. And it helps her feel good about being Helen, because someone expects something from me, someone cares enough to ask me something. If you let them know that what they do is important here, it makes all the difference.
Safety and health issues are also really important. For safety, I think kids at this age are going to be taking risks, physical risks, and it's our job to provide them with risks that are within the bounds of safety. You have to make sure they're safe, but you also have to back off a bit, because that's what's right for 10-year-olds. And staff who've worked with young kids, they'll say, this is a whole different ballgame. That how I need to be with a 4- and 5-year-old is very different from how I need to be with that 10-year-old.
Doesn't matter how smart you be. There's somebody that hasn't conflict. So
I see myself as a facilitator. I don't see myself as the boss, or I don't see myself as the person that has all the answers. And if I can be a positive and healthy role model to my staff, then they're going to think about how they can do that with children.
I think parent involvement is so important. We would have a monthly eat and meet, which is an informal dinner. We didn't call it a meeting, but it would provide the parents with the opportunity to come in, tour the center, see the staff, and hang out with us for a night, and bring their whole family.
When you have an after-school program that's incredibly diverse, the first thing for me that I always think about is who is my staff.
To guide the ball.
I try as hard as possible to have a staff that makes up who some of the young people are. And a lot of times you have folks talk about all different cultures, but they forget to talk about who the kids are.
I think working with children, it's not like a desk job. There's no textbook that says do this, this, and that. Each family, each child, totally unique. And the only way you learn how to better serve their needs is to have this human relationship with them.
Healthy relationships is what makes anything work. It's just like in life, and if you help children to begin to understand that at a younger age, what kind of adults will they be?
George Bernard Shaw in Pygmalion wrote something, with Eliza. And she says, it isn't how a person behaves, it's how he or she is treated. So if you're treated like a gutter snipe or a flower girl, you are a gutter snipe. or a flower girl. But if you're treated like a princess, then you are a princess. And I think, you know, that's what we do with the kids. We treat them like they're princes and princesses.
The best part of a program is the relationships that are going on.
A great out-of-school time program is really the neighborhood of the 90s.
When the program is really good and the host environment is supportive, what you've got is a place where children feel that they are part of a community, where somebody cares about them, where they belong to something.
And if you can create a space, no matter what it looks like, that is happening, healthy relationships, there's nothing that can't stop you in what you do.